So here we have the default, which is the first frame of the media, or if it's animated, it's going to be playing a video in this rectangle. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the buttons that DVD Architect comes with. I'll hit the Buttons tab here. Let's go ahead and make this bigger so we can see more at a time. Notice that you can look at these a number of different ways. First of all sources shows you all the different categories, but you can just limit it to certain themes that it comes with. So Artistic 1 has 3 different buttons here. Flower Power has 2 different ones. So you can sort them out by themes. If you're only working within one theme, that kind of simplifies it for you. I prefer to be able to see all the sources. And then also you have your choice of seeing just the framed buttons, the non-framed buttons, which tend to be the arrows for navigation, or all the buttons by hitting Show All Buttons. Let's just focus now on these framed buttons. And let's pick one of these. I'm going to, first of all, make sure I've selected the button I want to affect, and then just going to double click right here on the one I want. And you can see right in the workspace that the button is now changed, and overall it's looking a little bit smaller. Let's take a look at the button properties here and really see what's going on. I'm going to go into the media section, and you can see under thumbnail media that it's still listing the media that is in here as the media, in other words the art show video. But this time we have a mask present, which we're going to come back to in just a second. But let's go down to frame properties, and now you can see that the frame media is birthday 1 frame, and it's a PNG file. So we actually have 3 layers going here: the thumbnail media, the frame mask, and the frame itself. Now what does the frame mask do? We can actually see these one at a time by going to the crop and adjust window here. And now you can see this thumbnail mask. It's black and white. Where the black is, it's masking out that thumbnail media, and where the white is, it's allowing it to show through. So if I were to delete this, I'm going to hit the drop down arrow and just hit remove. You can see what's happening on the button here. Because there's no mask masking out the outer edges, we can see the entire button again, and that graphic for the frame is within that whole image. And so now I'll undo and put that back in. So you can see now graphically what that thumbnail mask is actually doing. It's trimming off or masking the outside perimeter of that video and only letting that thumbnail media show within the frame here. If we take the frame off, and let's go ahead and take a look at that first. Here's the frame. It is an alpha channel, in other words transparent, with this graphic on top of it. And notice this also includes a gray area, a little shadow that is showing up in a kind of a subtle way. So the masks and frame media can have levels of gray that will allow you to have shadowing. And using this as a template, you can design your own frame masks if you like. But let's go ahead and remove this one. And you can see now, without the frame in a way, that the thumbnail media is showing, but it's just within the shape allowed by the thumbnail mask. I'm going to undo that so we have the frame back in there. And now there's that 4th layer I talked about that really isn't in effect here, but let's go ahead and experiment with that just so you can get a really good idea of what's going on. I have a file here called grid mask. I'm just going to drop it in here as a mask for the frame. And you can see now the frame itself has been masked. Let's take a look at what that actually looks like. And it's basically just a black grid on a white background. So the white is allowing the frame to show through, the black is masking it out. And here you can see we have those 4 layers going. The very bottom layer, the thumbnail media, which we can't see all of it because the 2nd layer, the thumbnail mask, is masking it off. Then we have the frame superimposed on top of that. And then we have the frame mask determining how much of the actual frame we can see. So let's do a little experimentation here and see how cool we can get this to look. I'm going to actually take a different video and make it the thumbnail media, and this won't change what will play back when you hit the button. I got some fire video. You can either drag and drop as I showed you with that mask before, or go directly to the properties area. Let's hit replace. And ceiling fire. Of course, we're going to want to see that as an animated button because we want the video to play there. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Okay, pretty cool. I'm going to hit the button, and of course we're going to see not a fire, but the show.